Welcome to the Tuttle and Klein Show.
Doesn't it? Calvin!
That was weird.
I think that was me.
Oh, okay. Well, no big deal. We're here.
I think that was me. I for some reason I didn't press my button in like I usually do, and I don't know why.
Ah, okay.
I don't know why. I'm getting old. These things scare me, Kevin.
Technology.
You know what's so funny is, speaking of which, is for the first time ever, once you turn 50, you start getting email and you start getting blasted by Senior this magazine, AARP that, retired that, and I've rejected it 100%. I was like, I'm not even me a senior? No. I'm not a senior. That's fucking crazy talk. You take that crazy talk and shove it. I'm not a senior. And I don't care how much money I can save. If I even click on that, I basically have waved the white flag and said, yes, I'm a senior.
Don't you feel like you're still 18?
God, I don't understand it. By the way, real quick, I've started to click on them, and there are some fantastic deals.
Is that the benefit? You get deals?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of great discounts out there for 50 and over. And Kev, even more at 55. And then, they'll add them at 60. I think they add them every 5 years.
Well, Trish and I were driving around the other day, and we went and picked up something that we bought off of Marketplace, and it was a 55 and over living community. And I'm like, I'm there in 2 months. And
yeah,
I'm looking around. I'd be the youngest person there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be a part of that yet.
No.
Because, those are the people that are still pissed off that, that the mini wheats are like squares and not shredded, and they got to shred them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Damn it. I just need something shredded here.
Hey, but this brings up a decent point, I think. With hanging around those age people, 20, 25 years older than you, would that drag you down? And because I can ask you this, because the women that you date are a little younger than you, does that keep you young? Does that keep you energized?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a couple things that do it, Kev. Like, for example, where I have an advantage over you in terms of staying current and real.
Okay.
My kids.
Yeah.
So I know the vernacular. I know, what's on their minds. I know what's important for them. And it's kept me young.
Okay.
Just having conversations, the boys are in the other room right now. I still got the boys from the long holiday weekend, but nice. Having conversations with Dallas and Timmy and, Audrey and Jonas, I'm not only up on vernacular. I mean, what their verbiage is, but also, what concerns them, what's a big deal to them.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How big of a difference in generational speak is there between Audrey and Timmy?
Not much. They're it's just, they're on the same. Yeah. Audrey was born in 01 and Timmy was born in 15. So there's a 14 and a half year difference between them.
Uh-huh.
And not much. Timmy is, because he has older siblings, he stays very cool. I mean, he's the coolest third grader in the world.
Oh, even if he didn't have siblings, he still would be.
Yeah. He's that's not an issue. But, getting back to what you were saying is, when we were younger, the age we are now, it just seemed like you are so fucking old.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
And they look different too. They weren't as in good shape as we are. They didn't eat as well. I don't know what it is, but I can remember people my age, back 30, 40 years ago. And it was like, they didn't look like this. They didn't, we're much healthier for the most part. I mean, obviously there's some differences, but for the most part, our Generation X, we are younger looking than the boomers and, the greatest generation before them.
I think one of the major reasons is because less people are smoking these days. Man, when I was growing up, everybody smoked.
Everybody smoked. That's a great point, Kev. Is everybody smoked, and it turns your skin gray. It makes your hair gray quicker. You get the wrinkles. You just look older.
Yeah.
And we realized at a very early age that, hey man, when I'm that each puff is killing me.
Every puff. And part of that we realized it was because we were athletes,
Yeah.
and that does not increase your athletic potential.
No. It's terrible for you. So,
Yes.
but yeah, I just, I have some regrets about, some of the thoughts that I had. Like, I remember when my dad turned the age that I turned, like his birthday. And I was like, damn, Dad, that's old. And I'll never forget. You know what he said to me?
Uh,
Son, it goes quick.
it does.
And he said, I remember being your age like it was yesterday, and boom, blink and it's over.
You've said that a lot in our relationship together. I mean, you're like, that's one of your advices you used to give to interns is enjoy this because you'll look back and it'll be yesterday and you'll be 40 or 50 years old.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just because I remember that. I remember I have memories of my father turning these ages, and I was just like, holy cow, that dad, I remember, he's the same age as Mickey Mouse. My dad's an older pop for me.
Uh-huh.
He had me at 40 and Todd at 42 and Terry at 44. We were the second wave. But I remember 1978, when I was 9 years old, and we went to Disney World. We traveled to Disney World, and it was the 50th birthday of Mickey Mouse, who was also born in 1928, and my dad's 50th birthday.
Wow.
And I just remember thinking, boy, that's old. That's I don't ever want to be that old. That'd be a nightmare. Oh my gosh. At what point are you scared? Like, I'm going to fucking die soon.
I know.
But that's what you think when you're 9 years old. That's what you think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely feels old.
And then when you get there, you're like, God, I can't wait to fucking die. Just kidding. I love life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, Kev, I always want to be the guy, when I see people when I'm walking and when I see people, in public or whatever, I walk past them. I've always been the guy and like to be the guy that, just at least says hello.
Yep.
I'm always that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And as time goes on, with people being antisocial because of screen face, they have their face in the screen. They're not used to that socialization. It becomes, hey, should I still be continuing to do this? Because now what I run into is people are either not used to that and kind of you could tell some people are just taken back by that. Some of the younger people that I'll walk past and I'll say, hey, how you doing? Hey, good evening. Hey, hello. They're taken back by that. They're shocked by it. Like they don't know how to respond.
Right.
And then, they have a nervous, hey, how you doing? Like I'm the first person in months that has said hello to them. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying because when I used to run in Memorial Park, I always say good morning or wave when you pass somebody. And I would count how many people said it back to me, and it never reached two fingers. It never reached two hands. I'm sorry. Never. Yeah. But now that we live in the Midwest, everybody waves. Everybody says hi.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's different. Although, you have, I mean, let me tell you, if you had to go to central casting and you had to develop a profile of a look of a serial killer / pedophile or something. I mean, Kev, your face is it.
I don't like kids that much.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, you have that look.
I have a look. Yeah.
You have and it's totally contrary to who you are. In reality, you're actually a nice and affable guy with a sense of humor that has a conscience and would never hurt anything or anyone.
Absolutely.
But you got that look.
I am the perfect case for you don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. But you're also the perfect case of if I'm in Target or something like that and I see you trying to talk to one of my kids, I'm going to punch you in the mouth.
I got it. I got it.
But anyway, kind of a spinoff of that is, because it's so unusual that, I'm greeting people and that people are even being greeted and said hello to and stuff like that. Sometimes you get caught into something. Like literally moments ago, I went to check the mail. I got the boys here, so I haven't checked the mail since they came here on Friday.
Mhm.
So I just want to see if I got any mail on Friday and Saturday. And I get to the mailbox, and there's a lady there, and I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? Good morning. And she used it as an opening and just started talking. And I was like, oh boy. And she got to, as far as, you single? I'm single. Boy, it's so hard. It's, I'm doing these dating apps and blah, 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 blah. And I can't find the right guys. They're horrible guys and everything like that. And I'm like, I'm trying to joke my way out of it as I'm walking. I'm like, whoa, sounds like you're finding all the guys who put the word harm in eHarmony, huh? Just thinking a quick line and laughing. She's like following me and telling me more. And I was like, well, yeah, I hope everything turns out okay. I got to go. I got to see ya.
But she wouldn't stop following you. And now you're using an AARP discount to go on a date this weekend.
No.
Okay.
No, I can understand why she's not meeting top quality guys.
She's a single woman who just doesn't get to talk enough.
Exactly. She saw it as an opening, and she's like, oh my God, somebody's talking to me. Okay.
Yeah, God bless her.
I felt a little bit bad, but I still had to go. I got to go do a podcast.
Self-preservation. You never know.
Speaking of preservation, Kev, a Houston icon's got to preserve himself. Did you hear about this? Mattress Mac was hospitalized on Saturday.
No way. What happened?
I'm not sure the details, but they're saying he had some issues, cognitive issues. He's saying it directly.
Oh, wow.
So the Democrats are interested in having him on the ticket with Kamala. You know what I love the most, though, Kev?
What's that?
And you can look this up. Mattress Mac hospitalized. He's there in the hospital, laying in a hospital bed. He's got IVs in him. He's got. You could tell he's a little weak. He's not himself, but he's still trying to sling it.
Is he really?
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm in the hospital. I'm having cognitive issues, and I'll tell you this though, that doesn't stop the deals from going on at Gallery Furniture. We're gonna save you money today, even though my ass is spread out in the hospital today.
Hi, Mattress Mac, Gallery Furniture. I'm down here at St. Luke's Hospital in the emergency room, having a little trouble with some cognitive things, but I'm sure I'll be all right because they have great doctors at Texas Medical Center, and I will be fine. I don't know how long I'll be in here, but the best way for you to make me feel better is go out to Gallery Furniture Giant Labor Day sale. Buy your furniture. We got lots of items on sale. Gallery Furniture delivers free tonight. Biggest sale ever, Labor Day super sale. And buy that Tempur-Pedic and sleep great tonight. Hopefully I'll get out of here pretty soon because I got to go sleep on that Tempur-Pedic. God bless you all. I'm going to be all right. And I really will be all right if y'all go out and buy some furniture at Gallery Furniture right now.
Seriously, he's still slinging it. He's always slinging, man. Always. He is the dream salesman.
Oh, he's incredible at it.
Always selling. And, I know that he's going to get a sympathy pop. He's going to get a sympathy pop.
He totally is.
People are going to obviously the economy's in shambles right now. Everybody's, using their same mattress that they've used. They're not switching out mattresses and couches and shit right now, Kev, but I'm sure there's a certain percentage of people that'll be like, man, we got to go. Look, he's going to have some hospital bills. We got to help him defray that cost.
If you want to learn marketing and you want to learn advertising, just follow Mattress Mac. The guy should have been a college professor for marketing and promotion. He gets they call it free advertising because of all the charity stuff he does. He's brilliant. He's brilliant.
Kev, there are certain people that, masterclass. Mm-hmm. Like when I was taking marketing classes at Ball State in the early 90s, our professors were like, look at what Madonna's doing.
Yep.
That's a shining example of marketing, self-promotion, and everything like that. She's okay. She's got some decent singing chops and she can dance a little bit, but 95% of Madonna is marketing.
Absolutely was.
And then, as even before that, like before I went to college and was studying marketing, Brian Bosworth.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the former Oklahoma Sooner, and then got run over by Bo Jackson.
Created a persona, which is contrary to him, Kev. From what I've heard, Brian Bosworth, the guy, nicest dude ever. He will, have a conversation with you, look at you in the eye, be interested and everything like that. But he created this Bosworth character with the haircut, and it was all about marketing for him. So much so, and I don't know if you knew this or not, Kev, you can look it up to verify. He developed himself a rivalry, him versus John Elway. Do you remember this? I'm not sure if you remember this at all.
I don't remember this.
The Seahawks travel to Denver to play the Broncos. It's the first time John Elway is going to face Brian Bosworth. And lead up to the game, Brian Bosworth is like, I'm going to shut that horse-faced mouth. All he does is call him horse-face. I'm going to shut horse-faced mouth. I'm going to fuck horse-face up. Blah, 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 blah. Horse-face, horse-face, horse-face. And it gets so heated that at the game outside the stadium, Mile High Stadium in Denver, all these shirts are being sold. Anti-Brian Bosworth shirts, right? Crush the Boz, fuck the Boz, these different shirts. And tons of them, thousands and thousands and thousands of these shirts are being sold because we're going to show fucking Brian Bosworth that he sucks, blah, blah, blah. The person who is selling all the t-shirts and was responsible for making the t-shirts, Brian Bosworth.
He was brilliant.
Okay, but let's break this down a little bit, because the two examples that you use, Madonna and Brian Bosworth, master marketers. Madonna was controversial with the whole Catholic religion thing. Bosworth goes up and talks smack about the beloved John Elway. Mattress Mac, on the other hand, did everything for good, that he got all of his. So, I mean, yeah, it works both ways.
For Mattress Mac, he played the long game.
He did. Yeah.
And that's what you do. You take a positive angle if you're playing the long game, like I want to be around for decades. Whereas if you're Brian Bosworth, you're like, hey, man, the average NFL career is 5 years. I got 5 years to strike.
Yeah, you got a shelf life.
And he did. He struck and he made money, and he made sure that he was, doing movies. He did everything necessary and possible to make sure that he took full advantage of it, because there's a shelf life. And as we all know, after 3 or 4 years, he had a shoulder injury and he could not continue on the field. Yeah. And he still made a dozen movies after that, but he struck while it was hot.
And then you look at like Madonna, after a certain time period, she fell off the map. And I think one of the reasons is because how much more controversial can you be?
Well,
that's got to run out.
Again, she had to take the controversial side because there's a shelf life for her. Mm-hmm. Hey, let's face it. If as you age, you don't become as viable in that industry.
Yep.
And B, once you throw out your shtick of being controversial, as you were just alluding to, hey man, you played it.
That's it. Definitely.
So you got to strike while it's hot. And she actually had some nice longevity and
she did.
And pocketed some really good cheese. So she handled it well.
Yep, definitely.
But you're right. If you take the more positive tact, and the people who do that are people like Mattress Mac, The Rock.
Yep.
He goes positive. He doesn't get himself involved with politics too much. I mean, we found out that he voted for Biden in 2020, and then he regretted that he voted for Biden. So we didn't, but he doesn't delve too much into politics. Michael Jordan, he did not do any politics.
No.
And even there's a lot of famous black people that have called him out on that, saying, hey man, you could have helped lift us up. And he's like, Michael Jordan's like, hey, Republicans buy tennis shoes too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he fully realized that, if you take too strong of a political angle, you automatically lose 40% of a possible audience.
Which is why I was surprised that they were saying Beyonce was going to be at the Democratic National Convention, and why they were saying maybe Taylor Swift might show up. That's a no-win situation for a pop star.
No, you automatically alienate 40% of the audience. You automatically tell them, hey, I don't think like you. I'm not like you.
And
Both ways.
That's one of the
Both
things that we
ways.
were told immediately when we went to 93Q was there are three things you don't talk about. You don't talk about politics. You don't talk about religion. You don't talk about people's weight.
And of
So
course, that went in one ear and out the other for me.
exactly.
Because you know how I am. Once you tell me I can't do something, I automatically do something.
It's a challenge for him.
It is. I still haven't extracted that code, but it's still in there, and I just can't. Yeah. Just count on me to say the absolute wrong thing at the wrong time.
It's not even so much saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. I think that is a trait because I've known you long enough and you've talked about it long enough that I think that was a trait that your dad instilled in you by saying, don't accept authority without questioning it.
Yeah. My dad taught me that, right? My dad taught me that from an early age and really zoned in on it when I did the JFK assassination report as a senior in high school. And I kept telling him, I was like, Dad, this is, I was just trying to do the cover the events, because I liked JFK. I thought he was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good looking guy, got all the chicks. I mean, when I'm 17 years old, that's the guy, right?
Yeah, right.
And then I realized, I was like, wow, this is not one gunman, and this is a coup d'etat. And I talked to my dad about it. He goes, sit down, son, let's talk.
Nice.
And at that point, he just, he said, yeah, he goes, always question people, particularly people who claim that they know everything and they're always right. And how, those are the people that need to be most questioned because they're not open to anything else. They're shut off.
There's the difference between your upbringing and mine. Your dad, sit down, son, let's talk. My dad, get up from the table and go.
Yeah. My God, he's having an independent thought and I'm going to have a conversation with him. I'm out of here. Son, I'm going to grab my newspaper and go to the John and take a dump. Have a great day.
Yeah, I'll see you in a year.
Yeah. But anyway, Kev, I've told you that that in the last year and a half, 2 years, my son Dallas has become really into sports.
You have.
And he's next level stuff too, not just being a fan of sports. First off, he's playing 8th grade football. He's playing offensive guard and defensive end.
Wow.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big kid.
I know.
So yeah, they got their first game on September 12th. Yeah, I can't wait to check it out. But he's really into sports and really knows a lot. I remember when I was his age, I knew a lot about sports, but I think he may have me beat because he goes really deep level. You know what he said to me yesterday?
I would love to hear what he said.
He tells me that the Miami Heat's Jimmy Butler has not been in a lineup in a Miami Heat uniform on any full moon night in the last 3 years.
Wow.
So Dallas is like, I'm pretty sure he's a werewolf, Dad.
Nice call, Dal.
Yeah. But you look at that and I'm like, wow, where did he get that? How did and I'm thinking to myself, now how can I parlay that into maybe a good bet?
Well, it's easy. Next time there's a full moon, Jimmy ain't playing. Bet against the Heat.
Try to get it early before they announce he's not playing and bet against the Heat.
There you go.
So I'm like, Dallas, anytime you come up with a little edge like that, don't feel afraid to drop it on Dad.
I'd be curious to get his take on the article that I read last week. There are 3 NFL insiders who are on record as saying that Patrick Mahomes will become the first $100 million per year player in the NFL. And according to them, 18 GMs are lined up to make that offer. 5 years, 100 mil each.
Well, yeah, they're escalating. The salaries are escalating, and you know why it is.
But is the salary cap escalating?
Well, it will. I mean, the reason it's escalating is they're making money hand over fist. The revenue's off the charts. Not only here in the United States has the game grown and become the monster, but their expansion into Europe and into other countries has created revenue streams where they have so much money right now. Yeah. I mean, if you bought an NFL franchise 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, that was a great investment.
Oh, well, what did Jones pay for the Dallas Cowboys? Now they're the most valued franchise in the world,
Exactly.
worth over $10 billion.
Exactly.
But look, everybody goes, oh, $100 million a year for one player. Like, Tim, and you know this, you've said it numerous times. Rich people just don't give away money. Rich people get rich because they make money. Giving a guy $100 million a year, they know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
They know what they're doing.
Well, and I told you this a few podcast episodes ago that if he wanted to, if Patrick Mahomes wanted to, he could just say, "Hey, I'm holding out until I get $1 billion guaranteed deal," and he would get it.
Yeah.
He goes, I just, no matter what happens in my career, I'll sign the rest of my career or 10-year deal or whatever. I want $1 billion with a B guaranteed coming to me no matter what happens. And he would get it because he's worth it. That money will pay for itself in a short period of time.
I think he's going to become the fastest athlete to $1 billion worth in history.
Nope, too late.
Oh, who was it?
Jordan with the Nikes.
The fastest?
Yeah. He became a billionaire fast because because they cut the deal. The movie with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck discussing I forget the name of the movie.
It's called Air.
Yeah, did you watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he held out. He said, "Well, I'll go with this new Nike stuff, but I want a percentage of every shoe sold."
Yeah, his mom negotiated that for him. And at the time, it was unprecedented. No athlete had ever gotten that. And it was so outrageous that Phil Knight, the CEO of Nike, was never presented with that until after the contract was signed by Jordan, because they knew Phil Knight wasn't going to go for it. But look how much it made both of them.
Both of them. And Kev, I believe, Mahomes has been at it. He's pushing 30 now, 29, 30 years old. Michael Jordan, became 30 years old in 1993. By then, he was a billionaire.
Okay.
So, he's now, in terms of overall scope, Mahomes may end up making more money in the end than Michael Jordan, and definitely keeping more money because he doesn't gamble.
Very true. But you know how many Whataburgers he owns, right?
A bunch.
17.
Does he?
Yeah, he owns 17
in Kansas City.
All across Missouri. Yeah,
interesting.
We've got one 4 miles from our house. I don't know if he owns that one, but yeah, it was. His business acumen is just impressive, just incredible too.
Yeah,
like Jordan's.
Yeah, he's done the right things, and he's he's got the same kind of juice in Lubbock, Texas Tech.
Well, they just named something after him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's my daughter Audrey's an alum of Texas Tech, so I know everything about what Patrick Mahomes is doing in Lubbock, and he's legend status.
Yeah,
Kevin, I remember. It's so funny. I remember watching him a little bit when he played for Texas Tech,
mm-hmm.
but no idea that he was going to be the guy he became.
I don't think anybody did. I mean, he was good and he had a great arm, but I don't think anybody saw what Kansas City saw in him.
One guy did.
Yeah.
Andy Reid.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Andy Reid.
Even there's even like some talk out there, and I've seen some chatter, and you can find it out on YouTube, that when he got into the Kansas City camp in 2016, 2017 or whatever it was, that a lot of the other Kansas City Chiefs are like, this is the guy. Weird haircut, not that big, kind of built like the Pillsbury Doughboy. He's a little soft.
Kermit the Frog voice.
Yeah, Kermit the Frog voice. This is the guy. And Andy Reid would just tell all these veterans who showed concern, just wait.
That's knowledge of the game right there, man. That's knowing how to scout players. And
oh yeah, Andy Reid is I know Belichick gets credit as being the GOAT coach of all time, and Lombardi and everything like that up there. But a lot of Belichick is Brady. We found out.
Yeah. Yep.
Andy Reid's a genius, and unfortunately, the Lombardi thing, he didn't have enough time to really before he got the cancer. He didn't have enough time to really build that long-lasting legacy, even though what he did was legend. 5 world championships in 7 years.
I think his legacy is pretty secure. They named the championship trophy after him.
Yeah, but
the Lombardi trophy.
until it was they were quick to put him aside and hand Belichick the GOAT label.
Yeah. You always remember the latest.
Exactly. That's it.
Vince is a couple maybe a generation removed. So,
right.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about the trophy is the Lombardi trophy. When you don't know who somebody is, go look it up online, and then you'll know.
Yeah, five world championships in 7 years. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe the Chiefs beat that. Maybe they got a shot, but 5 in 7 years. That's crazy.
That's big.
That's big. Kev, I have a new fun activity I have with Dallas and Timmy I want to tell you about.
In addition to the candy draft?
The candy draft, very popular.
It's popular with me, and I've never done it.
Yeah. Well, Kev, we hang out and get together. I may have a candy draft for you, okay?
Sweet.
Oh, yeah. No pun intended.
I
know, right? The boys, they like their video games.
Mm-hmm.
And every so often, once every few weeks or so, they'll come up to me and, Dad, I need some more AA batteries for the controllers.
Sure. So
now we've started to have funerals for the game controller batteries. We'll lay them out on the table, and Timmy will be thankful for allowing him to wreak mayhem in fictitious Los Angeles on Grand Theft Auto. He'll say thank you for letting me all the mayhem and cars I jacked and people I killed and beat up. Thank you.
Right.
And Dallas will be thankful for allowing his University of Arizona Wildcats to have another dominating season in the national championship. And stuff like that. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. His mom loves that.
I see.
Yeah. He appeals to mom on that one. She's an Arizona Wildcat fan. But Dal's getting a little cocky with it, I think, though.
Oh, why? What's he doing?
Well, he's doing onside kicks after every touchdown. I'm like, what are you doing, man? They have the ball on the 45-yard line now. What are you doing, Dell? He's like, first off, I'm going to stop him. And second off, I don't stop him, I'm going to score.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. He might be onto something because the way they keep changing the kickoff rules in the NFL, they don't want contact anymore. So an onside kick might happen every time.
I thought, you think about it, Kev, some of the most dominating defenses ever. And when you think about them, you think about the 85 Bears.
Yeah.
You think about some of those Baltimore Ravens with Ray Lewis.
Steel curtain.
The steel curtain. I mean, those are teams that probably, hey, we're just going to onside kick. Because they're not going to get a first down anyway, and we're going to get the ball back. Probably about the same place we would do on a kickoff. Let's try to go for the ball.
Beautiful. What a thought process. Kids revolutionizing the game.
Yeah. So, whereas my conservative old school style is chastising him a bit for his strategy, he may be revolutionary.
That's right. Things evolve, Dad. Things evolve.
Yeah. This is what we're going to, Dad, I have a dominating defense and I score at will. Okay.
Yeah. Well, because think about it, because you're an odds guy, you have a better chance of recovering an onside kick than you do kicking it in the end zone.
That's true. You may see that. You may see that as a thing. You may.
And then it'll be just like his dad. He will have developed an idea that he doesn't get credit for.
Exactly. Way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
That's the Dallas strategy. Dallas who? I invented that at the college I'm coaching at now. Speaking of football, obviously we're talking a lot of football right now. Cannot wait for the season to start. I'm so stoked. And we were watching college football all weekend here.
Who looks good? I didn't watch any.
Georgia. I mean, they absolutely destroyed Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson had 3 points.
That's it, huh?
That's it. Clemson had 3 points. And now Dabo Sweeney, the coach of Clemson, who I like what he won 2 national championships not too long ago.
Yeah.
Is now under fire because he doesn't take advantage of the portal enough.
Oh, okay.
Georgia got some great players in the portal.
As if they needed to.
Yeah, they loaded up. And, the people who are, playing this modern game, the portal, right, obviously Georgia and Colorado, Deion Sanders plays it right.
Mm-hmm.
Dabo's like, he's too dedicated. Hey, I want Clemson guys from the beginning, when they were 17, 18 years old, they were Clemson, and that's who we're going with.
Okay, well, he'll be looking for a new job in a couple of years.
Exactly. You have to adapt or you die.
Yeah.
If you don't adapt, you're dead. I mean, look at all these coaches that won championships and then they're gone. LSU's the gruff voice coach, I forget his name. What's his name? He talks like this.
When I take my finger and I put it right there in his belly, that I'm the right man for the LSU Tigers.
He wins the national championship. He doesn't adapt. He's gone. Yeah. Happened to Valvano, NC State basketball, or in the 80s. Didn't adapt. He's gone.
What's the feeling in College Station? It was a tight game, but A&M lost. 107,000 plus people in that game. Holy crap, man!
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, what an atmosphere!
They got spanked though, Notre Dame. You can't. You gotta beat that opening game at home. You got to win that opening game.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of what I thought the feeling would be.
Yeah, you can't let that one go. So the new coach is like, oh shit.
That would have been a big victory, taking down a single-digit seed at home.
Yeah. I got an eye of football just about everything I'm doing, Kev. I'm doing my cardio and walking around, and I'm watching some neighborhood games. They're playing those pickup touch football games.
Okay.
And you know how it is though. The touch football game turns into tackle as soon as somebody pushes too hard. So
absolutely, yeah.
It happens these days too, not just with us. But I've noticed the last couple of times I'm doing my cardio and watching them play that there's this white kid that is really, really good at covering fast kids. Really good. I mean, he's like all over them. I mean, just like glue. There's no separation at all. He's just all over them. And these are, junior high, 8th, 9th grade, kids. And so they had a break. They were getting some drink because it's hot as hell still here in Houston. So they were getting a drink, and after somebody scores a touchdown, and I walked over to him and started talking to him. I was like, "Hey man, you got some game, buddy." And he's a 8th grader. He's played Pop Warner and everything like that, and he's a cover corner there.
Really? Okay.
And he was telling me that the coaches, first off, Kevin, Pop Warner and even middle school, they don't play the same offenses that we played when we were younger. It was just hand the ball off, or the quarterback just take the ball and sweep and run.
Yeah.
They actually have these air raid spread offenses, and they're passing right away now.
That's the game.
That's the game. But anyway, this kid tells me that his coaches, they always put him on the other team's toughest and fastest receiver.
And that's why he's good.
And I told him, I was like, hey man, do me a favor, work really, really hard and stick with it. Maybe you can end up being the white people Jackie Robinson of NFL quarterbacks.
Barrier breaker.
Barrier breaker. We got a white corner? What?
They're going to call you Whitey.
Yeah. They're going to give you hell for being white. You're going to hear cracker from the stands, and you're going to hear all that, and you're going to have to run to your car in the parking lot after the game. You just stick to it though. An entire race needs you.
Don't let them beat you down.
Don't let them beat you down, Whitey. So funny.
That's funny.
Can you imagine a white cornerback? Wow. Hold on. Did you say corner or quarter? You said quarter? Corner? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
This is groundbreaking.
This is groundbreaking stuff. You can see the documentaries. We just never thought it would be possible for a white man to be able to cover the fastest receiver on the other team. It was not scientifically possible. And suddenly, little Richie Johnson from Richmond, Texas comes in. And we couldn't believe it. He's going up against guys who are 5-star, going to be first-round draft picks in the NFL, and they can't get any separation from Little Richie. So we had to do what we had to do. First thing we did, we tested him for drugs. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when he peed clean. I was like, wow, what's going on here?
He's the chosen one.
He's the chosen one. They're gonna call you Whitey.
That's a reference to an old Saturday Night Live skit where Michael Jordan was the first black Harlem Globetrotter. And
yeah,
because the Globies were white.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, and Jordan becomes the first in the skit, and they're like, "Don't do it, kid. They're gonna call you Blackie."
Yeah.
Sweet River, you think you can handle being a Harlem Globetrotter?
I play the best I can, sir.
I'm not talking about your play, son. I'm talking about you. They're gonna try to fight you, son, and, well, you can't fight back. You're gonna be called names, things you don't want to hear, like Blackie, or, hey, look at that Blackie, or, get rid of Blackie, or, why is that Blackie on the team, or, I'm in a bad mood because of that Blackie out there.
I see.
It's another SNL skit that you couldn't do today.
No.
Because everybody lives to be outraged. Oh my God, words. Oh my God. I love it. That's hilarious though.
Hey, while we're talking football, I do have a be honest for you in that realm.
Be honest. Be honest.
Okay, so we heard about the shooting of the rookie San Francisco 49ers, Ricky Pearsall. The details are now coming out. He's out of the hospital, and he's expected to make full recovery, but he was basically carjacked by a 17-year-old armed perpetrator, and he refused to give up his car. So there was a tussle, and he got shot. Be honest. Would you fight somebody who's got a gun pointed at you wanting your car?
No, you let him have the car.
Don't you, though?
Yeah, you don't fight. Yeah, you don't do that. You just as he's doing it, you take as many notes mentally of what he looks like, and you like watch in the distance at what turns he makes, so you can make the phone call. And most of these cars have the transponders on them anyway. You'll find them. Yeah,
no, absolutely.
And they're all covered by insurance. And never. I'd be like, you want it that bad that you're going to risk 5 to 10 years? Go. It's yours.
Knowing somebody is violating you like that, I get it. But, and you're talking about being shot over a car.
Yeah, you
can't.
don't.
You can't.
No, you got to let that go.
Yeah. So.
You got to let that go. Did they find the perpetrator?
Well, he got shot too in the tussle. Both of them got shot. Yeah. So, he's out of the hospital and incarcerated now. Well, he's in jail.
It's absolutely shocking that something like this would happen in San Francisco, California. I can't believe it. If you have strong gun laws, things like that should never, ever happen, right? Oh, you mean the bad guys don't listen to gun laws? Oh, well, shoot. I wonder what could be done to thwart that. Like if you have bad guys that won't listen to gun laws, I mean, what could be done to stop that sort of thing? Maybe let good guys have their guns to protect them? Maybe.
That's such a radical experiment, Timmy.
So stupid, man. And the people who do it have armed guards. The people who throw those laws out, they all have armed guards.
That is an interesting point.
That to me is the most evil shit that I've ever seen. I just gonna say this. I'm gonna be done. We're gonna move on. I'm sorry, Kev.
Okay.
The most evil thing that I have ever seen is somebody who stands in front of a camera, who for the last 3.5 years has let millions in the border unvetted, and they end up being known terrorists, people from prisons and gangs from other countries, and then will tell that camera, look it in the face and say, we want to disarm Americans, as they have 2 armed people behind them making sure they're safe. That to me is apex predator evil. I mean, that is the most evil, one of the most evil human beings you can imagine right there.
Okay.
And I'll just leave it at that, because that's happening. It just happened in the last couple of weeks. I'm like, you are fucking evil. So I can't protect myself from what you let in, but you're protected. fuck you.
He seems very passionate about this, and he is.
I'm sorry, Kev. Let's move
Okay.
on to our fun little goofy stuff. Be honest.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten something off the ground?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not recently, but yeah, I mean, probably as far back or probably as recent as maybe 10 years ago.
Hold on a second, because I am so curious. You would be, see, to me, 99% of people would be like, yeah, I ain't wasting that fucking gobstopper. But you would be one of the few percent that would be like, I don't care, it's gone.
No.
What kind of food is so desirable to Kevin Kline that he would bypass that?
Well, it wasn't that it was desirable. It was that I actually needed it at the time. It was a very salt-covered corn nut.
You got me. I bit. Why was it so desired at that time?
Kline goes nuts for corn nuts.
Yeah.
Because I was cramped up so severely at the bottom of the Grand Canyon that the park ranger gave me a thing of corn nuts, and I spilled some, and I had to reach down into the dirt of the Grand Canyon and pick it up and eat it because that salt was supposed to get me back up and moving.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So you did it for life.
So I ingested some of the majestic Grand Canyon.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Is that it though? Is that it?
No, I'm sure there's others before that. That's just the one that I remember being as the most recent.
That's funny.
Yeah.
See, I don't give a shit. I'll be like, are you kidding me, man? That's a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah.
I'd stab somebody for that shit.
Oh, wow.
I'm not giving that up.
Not at all.
Like Kev, I was grilling some chicken,
Okay.
and one of them, I just so bummed out. One of them, I got a huge plate. When I grill my chicken, I grill 6 huge breasts at one time.
You've always been a breast man.
Actually, I've been an ass man, but that's another story for another time.
Okay.
And I'm one of them falls off and hits the ground next to the grill, and I'm just like, there is no way. I mean, I just had that thing in there, and I was marinating it, and turning it, slow cooking it, and talking to it because I talk to it.
Of course.
Hi, little chicken. You're going to be so juicy and delicious. Gonna make my mouth water. There's no way that I'm giving up on that chicken.
No, but here's what you do with it, though. I mean, the one that fell down, you put it back on the grill. It'll burn off the bacteria that it's accumulated. And you just invite that single girl who was talking to you at the mailbox over, and that's the one you give her.
Actually, Kev, I got to be completely honest with you. I washed it off and I ate it. I couldn't give it to my boys.
That's the magnanimous thing to do. That's what a parent does.
I could not give it to Dallas and Timmy. I could never do that.
No,
I couldn't. But I'll say this though. I put more effort into keeping things alive with that chicken breast than I have any relationship I've ever been in.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But did I read on the battle plan though that there could be a new girl?
No,
heavy breath.
Man.
No.
I had last week. I had a overnight lady guest.
Did you?
Yeah. She's about 5'4", maybe 105, 110 pounds.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very
loudest snorer I ever heard in my life.
Oh, no.
Kevin, and my freshman roommate in the dorm at Ball State was a defensive lineman for the mighty Cardinals, and it wasn't as loud as that.
Dang. Did you tell her? Did you tell her?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Kev. I look over and, it wakes me up. It's so I recorded it No, seriously. Hey, Kev, seriously, it was bad. I mean, it was like, sleeping next to a cappuccino machine set on 11.
Yeah, not conducive to good sleep. You're right.
No, I recorded it on my phone and I showed her in the morning.
How'd that go over?
Lost another friend with benefit.
Oh, damn.
But I sold the recording to a farmer who will use it to scare crows away.
Yes, all's well that ends well.
It's okay. The whole thing with her didn't start off right. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I told her I had a vasectomy.
Uh-huh.
My ex, after our last kid, she wanted me to get a vasectomy. She said she didn't want to have any more kids.
Oh, how'd that turn out?
What I found out later is she didn't want to have any more kids with me. But anyway, after I told Miss Sleeps Like a Lawnmower that I had a vasectomy, she told me that she was hoping to have a kid someday.
Oh, well.
Now, in order to keep it going, because she's hot,
Uh-huh.
I told her I had some of my stuff frozen before I got the procedure done.
Oh.
And I told her I didn't go to one of those clinics or anything like that. I just froze something myself.
It's in the freezer.
Yeah, just be careful which ice tray you use.
Nice.
She thought that was funny.
It is funny. It's hilarious.
Yeah, so no, Cav. I mean, and we talked about this the last episode. I'm so happy just like being solo right now,
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
And I know I got a friend of mine that's like, hey, dude, you still look good. You can still, get a very attractive woman and, blah, blah, blah. But you better hurry because you may not look that good, 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years from now. And I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah. And apparently he's never seen a picture of your dad.
Yeah, my dad. I wish I had it, Kev.
You do. It's over your shoulder.
Yeah, well, yeah, my dad. Yeah, there's my dad. Yeah, but even more than that, and I want you to put this up here, because in terms of how I'm going to age.
Uh-huh.
When my dad passed away, I mean, he looked like Sean Connery from Hunt for Red October.
Oh,
that's how my dad looked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should be able to hang in there if I can hang in there half as long as my dad did.
Yeah, Timmy got a good lot in the genetic lottery. He certainly did.
I did. I got to admit. I thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad, for coming together. And Dad, thanks for after that Green Bay Packer victory over the Dallas Cowboys in the Ice Bowl in late 1967 for slipping one past the goalie there and. And 9 months later, voila, the world gets Timmy Tuttle.
Yes.
That's so funny, man. Yeah.
True story, though. True story.
True story. Yes, I was born 9 months after the Ice Bowl victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you very much.
Far be it from me to poke a bear, but does that give you any satisfaction over your ex?
Nothing gives me any satisfaction over her.
Oh, okay.
Kev, I don't want my ex is a witch.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
No, not in a negative way, as in she has powers.
Oh, okay.
And I have noticed over the years, it is more wise for me to have nothing but positive vibes sent in her direction.
Understood.
Because, anytime that any kind of negative vibe would come up there, I would pay somewhere down the road.
Okay.
So, no, it does not give me any satisfaction whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I kind of wish that maybe the Cowboys defensive line would have stopped that.
But then we wouldn't have had the pleasure of your company, sir.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people go, that would have been the real pleasure of not having his company.
Nope, not here. 28 years now?
28 years, Kevin Klein.
Your longest relationship.
Yeah, yeah, coming up. Wow, it's early 96. Yeah.
Yeah, because Trish and I got married in September of 96.
Did you, Kev, did you realize that come April, it was 20 years ago that we started at 93Q?
Uh-huh.
Isn't that crazy?
I remember it like it was yesterday.
April of 2005.
Yep.
It was the weekend, the first weekend of April. I think it was April 1st is we
our contract kicked in on April 1st. What a joke.
Exactly. the April Fool's joke of a lifetime on the city of Houston. But I remember, I'll never forget this. It was you, me, and Jimmy Phil driving to Houston from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yep.
And I remember we got into the listening area. And the first song, do you remember the first song? I don't know if you were listening to 93Q or looking for it at all, but I was looking for it. I was like, hey, what is this station? You know, let me listen.
Was it Rascal Flatts?
Rascal Flatts, Fast Cars and Freedom.
Yep. I remember.
That was the first song we heard. And I remember, Gary LeVox going, look at me in that song. Remember that?
I do remember that.
And just to paint a picture, I at the time I still had long hair, and Kevin Klein and I had just done like 9 years of alternative rock. I mean, I didn't get my hair cut until the next day. But I remember listening, look at me, and going, oh shit, are we going to be able to do this?
Yeah, we were a little concerned about the format and stuff and being able to tone ourselves down, but it all worked out. It worked out great. And country music actually grew on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It's still the stuff I sing in my head when I wake up.
Kev, not only that, it's the stuff that is really, really talented people.
Oh, yeah.
Let's face it, a lot of the alt rock that we did, a lot of that's processed.
Okay.
Whereas
a lot of pop is processed. We know that.
Yeah, a lot of that's processed. A lot of that is, with country music, you can't hide.
Mm-mm.
You either sing or you can't sing. And if you can't sing, you will be weeded out.
Yeah, you don't want to have a career, for sure.
Yeah, so that's true talent. I mean, the true talent is in country music, I've seen, for the most part. I mean, obviously, you
got your exceptions.
Some people get surprised when they learn our background. I mean, our Zeppelin, our Motley Crue, our Kiss, Kevin and I liked it crunchy.
Judas Priest and Ozzy were my first two concerts.
Absolutely, man. Scorpions Worldwide Live. Are you kidding me?
Costa Mesa!
There's no one like you!
California! There is no one like you!
Worldwide Live, one of the greatest live albums.
Oh, yeah. Check out AC/DC River Plate.
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, man. Argentina loves themselves some rock and roll.
Is that with Bon Scott or is that with Brian Johnson?
Brian Johnson.
Okay.
It was done probably, about 10, 12 years ago?
Oh, wow.
Holy cow. Was that I've never seen a crowd like that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to definitely look for it.
As a matter of fact, I want you to watch it. Watch AC/DC live at River Plate. As a matter of fact, put a little clip right here of the crowd. Would you even go in that's a scary, I'm a big guy, strong guy. I would be concerned in that crowd. Look how they're rolling and how they're moving. And I mean, if you lose your footing in that crowd right there, they don't find you for 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would go in there. But I mean, there's a curiosity factor. I wonder what that concert sounded like.
Back in black. Hit the sack. I've been too long. I'm glad to be back. Yes, I'm let loose. And let me tell you this right now. I know a lot of you are like, that is some of the shittiest singing I have ever heard before in my life. That's a lot closer to Brian Johnson than you think it is.
It really is.
It really is. Kev, I was telling you that the last episode, that the week before, a childhood friend of mine had passed away.
That's right. We had talked about that. Yeah. Yeah.
And, I got to some of the, I was telling you about how, he started dealing drugs at 16 or 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And the friend group, we were concerned about him. And we told him, hey man, you're gonna end up in jail, you're gonna end up dead, you gotta stop that. You gotta quit that. And then he started buying all the concert tickets and the party materials and everything like that. And we told him we support him at that time. And I was talking to a few of my friends about it. We were messaging back and forth, and they were like, yeah, Tuttle, you should have, you were influential with him. You were more persuasive. You should have told him not to do that, but you gave up so quickly. And I'm like, gee, I didn't see you guys protesting that much.
Yeah, right.
As a matter of fact, Billy, if I remember correctly, you at that point said you felt so bad that you didn't support him, that you were willing to help him in any way he needed help. And shortly thereafter, he's shoving balloons up your ass.
Wow.
And I remember looking at you, Billy, and going, "What are you doing?" And Billy's like, "Hey, Motley Crue's coming. I want to make sure we get set up for that."
Yes. I'll be your Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, "Hey, don't judge me, Billy."
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Kev, can you believe it when you fly, and you know this because you fly even more often than I do, that you still can't have water? The TSA still confiscates your water.
They do. Yes, they do.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So what I do, I'm not getting rid of this water. I will fill balloons full of the water I have.
Talk about a wet fart.
I'll go back into that little bathroom on the plane and I'll shit that out. It'll be like, I got you, TSA.
Dang. How funny.
I don't know how that popped in my head when I was talking to Billy about that. I was like, hey, speaking of water balloons, or speaking of balloons,
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if? All right, Kev, you got this week's top 3. What do you got for us?
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle and Klein's top 3.
Well, it's funny that you were talking about grilling chicken because we're on Labor Day. We're just coming off a Labor Day weekend anyway. And I wanted to know top 3 necessities at a picnic, at a Labor Day picnic.
Definitely going to have to say you've got to have the highest quality meats that you can get.
Okay.
And you don't skimp on meat. I'm okay with discount here, discount there. You don't skimp on the meat.
All right.
It's got to be the highest quality stuff. The ribeye got to be good, and you don't just start the day that you're going to grill it. You marinate, let that thing sit for overnight.
Oh, for sure.
Marinate, do whatever it takes. Dry rub. Make sure that's done overnight. So it's got the highest quality meat is necessary.
Got it. Highest quality meat.
Second thing is your BOC, beverage of choice.
Okay.
Mine, of course, used to be high quality beer like a Guinness or a Shiner or something like that, or perhaps a good quality bourbon on the rocks.
All right.
And now I like copious amounts of water. I like to just you get to my age when you start actually clicking on the emails that talk about retirement, AARP and stuff like that. You want to make sure you're hydrated. So mine is just tons and tons of water.
Okay, which is good.
Yeah.
Trish went 200 days in a row with drinking only water. She gave up iced tea. She gave up everything. Yeah, 200 days in a row.
Wow. Yeah. And what became of that?
Yesterday, she wanted to do 40 days for Lent, and then she decided, I'll go 100 days. And then 100 days, she goes, I think I can make 200. And then 200, she said, I'm going to have a glass of tea.
Oh, okay. So did she, was it did she notice anything from it? Did anything come out of it?
Not
really?
Not a thing. No weight loss
She
at all.
didn't lose any weight.
No weight loss at all. Still got migraines. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And her doctor said it's because she's got a hormonal imbalance. And so they want to give her some sort of a pill, and insurance won't cover it. So insurance just says, no, we're not going to cover that, even though it'll probably make you healthier. That's where we stand.
Fuckers, those criminals.
Oh my God, dude, I hate insurance.
Oh, that's just they have so much money too. They just have such huge cash reserves. That's another job, another vocation. Do not tell anybody you were an insurance adjuster or anything like that if we have a post-apocalypse, because you'll be one of the people that are, spinning over the fire with an apple in your mouth later.
Yes, you'll be pillaged for sure.
Yes. So keep that to yourself. Don't say you were anything. Nothing pharmaceutical. Nothing government. Nothing insurance. Don't do that to you.
Or banking.
Yeah. Or banker. Yeah. Don't say any of that.
There we go. See, we're saving lives today.
I'm saying because I care about. I don't want you to die.
That's right.
I want you to live. So
unless he's the one doing the killing,
don't tell them who you are and what you did back in the world.
And what is your third item?
My third item, Kev. You always got to have somebody at the barbecue that you can laugh at. Somebody that drinks way too much that becomes a source of entertainment.
See, I didn't even think about that.
They make them so much more exciting. Like Kev, I have the pole position in my apartment here in terms of the big, resort size pool that we have.
Okay.
And I'll look out that window, and if there's certain people that if they're there, I'll wait for about an hour or so for them to get nice and liquored up, and then I will go out there just to watch the festivities.
Why not?
Even if I have no intention of swimming whatsoever, I will go out there and I'll cop a seat and I'll just sit there because it's going to be some of the best entertainment, because there's a lot of stupid.
Free, cheap entertainment.
Oh, it's fantastic, Kev. You got guys here that'll, and we don't have time. I'll tell you about a story next episode about guys who just and women, once they have 4 or 5 in them, no filter whatsoever. They don't care.
Nice.
And that is, in this day and age, that is such a beautiful thing to behold.
Yep, for sure.
But, all right. What about you? What are your top 3?
My top 3, baked beans. Gotta have the baked beans. Man, a good batch of baked beans. Nothing better.
I forgot sides, man.
Yeah, well, that's why we're gonna picnic together, because you got the meat and the beverage.
Yeah,
I got the baked beans, I got the potato salad, and I got the utensils.
Yeah,
man, we're gonna have a hell of a party.
As long as we don't start talking,
we'll put each other at the end of the table.
Exactly. I mean, because this hour and 15 minutes a week, that's enough.
Not for some.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, by the way, speaking of which, thank you for all the great feedback we get, Kev. Still get a ton of messages, ton of comments, people enjoying our podcast. We enjoyed bringing it to you.
Well, if you're not following us on Instagram, you can read some of your comments, because when Tim posts a snippet of the show, he also includes a quote from one of you. And they're so heartwarming and so inspirational to read. It makes us know that what we're doing is being listened to, number one, and enjoyed.
Yeah. And, the one that's out today, guy gave us 5 stars. Thank you very much. He gave us a 5-star rating on the podcast platform of his choice. So we appreciate the living hell out of that. Kev, this has been a fantastic, fun time.
But we didn't talk about rabbit holes.
Oh, we didn't. Well, we'll have to save that. Is that okay?
No.
I mean, we'll do it. We'll do it if you need. I got 2 hungry boys in the next room there.
Understood.
Is that okay? Can you save it?
That's fine.
Can you save it?
Yeah, it does not have a shelf life.
Okay, all right. I was going to say, if it has a shelf life, we'll do it.
Not at all.
Okay, but I can't wait to hear it because you were so excited to do it. It's going to be a really good one. I can't wait to hear it. So, gosh, see, I'm so sorry, man, Kev. We start talking about things and our game plan just goes bye-bye.
That's okay. That's how you know it's not scripted, and that's how it's again, and I hate to belabor this point, the chemistry that you and I have cannot be manufactured, bro.
Yeah,
I
I couldn't believe it. I just looked down and I'm like, fuck, it's 11:14 already.
And we only covered 2 things on the plan.
Shit.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. We got backup material now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that next week. So I can feed my boys. I got to make them some food. Kev, you do have, by the time you're listening or watching this, there'll be a new Fuzzy Mike episode.
This week is so phenomenal. Going to be talking with Scott Fedor. And Scott Fedor, when he was 33 years old, was a former college athlete, and he was a vice president of a global manufacturing company owned by Warren Buffett. He went swimming in a lake that he grew up swimming in, dove off the dock, and is now a quadriplegic, paralyzed from the neck down. And I would give up life if they gave him the chance in Michigan. Do you want to die or live? And because they have the right to life, they do, the law in Michigan. Okay. And I would have said, pull the plug. He did not, and he's thriving today. And it's the most inspirational, headstrong person you ever want to meet.
Love it. That's going to be some great stuff. Kevin really, really has some good interviews with these fascinating people who have wonderful stories to tell. I know you're following us, also follow his Fuzzy Mike podcast. It is really, really good stuff. Kev?
Yes, sir.
Seriously, I can hear their stomachs are grumbling.
Yeah.
And I can take each of them on their own, but together now, I got to get them fed so they don't, jump me or something like that.
Enjoy, buddy.
Later.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Klein Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And you can get more Klein on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Klein Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.